Attention passionate Baltimore Ravens fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Baltimore Ravens' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Baltimore Ravens fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS, and Baltimore RAVENS fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying attention to the league buzz lately, you might have heard some whispers about a potential blockbuster move that could shake up the AFC North in a way we haven't seen in years. And no, I'm not talking about some minor trade or a backup signing. This is something that could redefine the Ravens' defensive front and even shift the balance of power in the division. So sit tight, because what I'm about to tell you could be the game changer we've been waiting for. So here's the scoop. Rumors are swirling that the Las Vegas Raiders, currently sitting at 210 and with a hefty $22 million in cap space, are preparing to make a bold move. They're in the middle of a rebuild, post-QB chaos, defense leaking points at a staggering 25. 7 points per game, and they're reportedly open to trading their all-pro edge rusher Maxx Crosby. That's right, Maxx Crosby, a guy who's been the heart and soul of their pass rush, might be heading to Baltimore in what could be one of the most significant trades this season. The Raiders, sources close to the league suggest, are looking to accelerate their rebuild, especially after their recent struggles, including O'Connell's disappointing 78.5 quarterback rating performance. They're eyeing draft picks to bolster their offensive line and rebuild their roster from the ground up. The trade being discussed would send Crosby to the Ravens in exchange for a first-round pick in 2026 and a fourth-rounder in 2027. That's a steep price, but it signals just how much the Raiders are willing to sacrifice to get future assets and free up cap space, especially considering they've already freed up around $20 million for secondary and QB reinforcements. Now, for us Ravens fans, this potential move is nothing short of electrifying. Maxx Crosby, just 28 years old, is a freak of nature. The stats tell the story: career total of 52 sacks and 87. One grade from PFF that puts him in the top 10 at his position for 2025. And this season alone, he's been a nightmare for opposing offensive lines. In just 12 games, Crosby has amassed 37 solo tackles, 22 assists, and 8 sacks for 59 yards. He also has an interception returned for 19 yards, 2 forced fumbles, and a 22% win rate in pass rush situations. His elite pressure rate, averaging 2.8 pressures per game, projects to 15 sacks over a full season, which is absolutely game-changing. When you compare him to the best, PFF WAR ranks him at 2.9, akin to Khalil Mack at his peak in 2018. And if we look at his run defense, he's eclipsed many top-tier pass rushers, boasting a 91% success rate versus runs, surpassing even Bosa's 88%. This isn't just about adding a good player. This is about acquiring a dominant force who can elevate our entire defense. For the Ravens, with a cap space of around $6 million and some key injuries, like Isaac's knee IR, adding Crosby would be a monumental upgrade, especially considering our recent struggles with pass rush production. Who's been a bright spot for us, is in the final year of his contract, and bringing Crosby into the fold could create an elite duo with someone like Majibuik, who's been performing at a top level. Together, Crosby and Majibuik could push our sack total up by over 25%, moving from the top 3 in the league to a historic level. That kind of pressure would make life miserable for opposing quarterbacks and give our secondary plenty of opportunities to create turnovers. And let's not forget what this does for Lamar Jackson. The added pressure from Crosby would give Lamar that extra second or two he needs to find his targets or scramble for big gains. His rating of 96.8, along with nearly 900 yards passing and 25 touchdowns, would only benefit from a more disruptive pass rush. Plus, with Crosby's ability to consistently pressure the quarterback, averaging 3.5 sacks in playoff scenarios, this move could seriously boost our chances in the postseason. The Ravens are no strangers to big trades around the deadline, and last year's acquisition of Bosa in San Francisco, which brought 120 pressures, set a precedent that the right move at the right time can propel a team to Super Bowl greatness. Now, you might wonder, what's the bigger picture here? Well, if this trade goes through, it's not just about adding a star pass rusher. It's about sending a message across the league that the Ravens are serious contenders, and they're willing to make bold moves to secure their place at the top. The AFC is stacked, especially with teams like the Chiefs, Bengals, and Bills all vying for the throne, but Baltimore's defense, with Crosby, could become an impenetrable fortress. Imagine a playoff run where Crosby dominates the edge, Jackson dances around defenders, and the Ravens lift their third Super Bowl trophy, this time with a defense that's almost untouchable. Looking at the odds right now, Baltimore's Super Bowl chances are around plus 1,000, good but not quite favorites yet. But if they land Crosby, those odds could shorten significantly, especially considering how he's a proven postseason difference maker. His ability to disrupt the rhythm of elite offenses like the Chiefs or the Bills could double our chances of making a deep playoff run. And if we think back to last season, our defense was already playing at a high level, but adding someone like Crosby would be the final piece to turn us into a true juggernaut. And of course, we have to consider the Raiders' perspective. They're in full rebuild mode, and parting ways with Crosby might be painful, but it's a strategic move to stockpile picks and rebuild faster. They're gambling on the future, hoping the draft picks turn into cornerstone players, but it's a risk. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, this could be the move that cements our legacy, reestablishes our dominance, and pushes us closer to that third Lombardi trophy. So my fellow Ravens fans, keep your eyes peeled. The trade deadline is coming up, and if this move materializes, it could be the most talked-about deal of the season. Max Crosby in purple and black could be the spark that ignites yet another Super Bowl run, and I really believe it's within reach. The Ravens are building something special, and with a little bit of luck and the right moves, we could see the return of the North's most dominant dynasty. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Baltimore Ravens news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Baltimore Ravens fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential blockbuster move? Do you think Crosby is the missing piece to finally get us back to the Super Bowl? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the team. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Baltimore Ravens news. Whether it's trades, injuries, or game day analysis, we're here to keep you in the loop and fired up about our team. Let's keep the passion alive, Ravens Nation, because when it comes to football, we're always in it to win it.